What's up, everybody? It's Dr. Jeff, Rythmia Life Advancement Center. I'm the Chief Medical Officer here. You know, plant medicine, when you do it, it tends to continue working for a very long time after you've had your week here with us. And people get home, and they're a little kind of confused a bit about it because they're still feeling that there's something going on, and they still feel that like the medicine is working on them. I had a shaman, my very first shaman, when I did plant medicine, said, you now have the plant medicine in your body, and now you're a part of the plant medicine. And so what I took that as, is symbolic to some degree, is that I'm always growing. I'm always, if I'm in tune with my experience, I can always shift and be centered and grow within the process. So when you do the plant medicine, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Here at Rythmia, we do it 4 times in a week. This is going to work on you guys for months and sometimes years afterwards. I haven't done plant medicine in a very long time. First of all, I'm on call at night to make sure everything's cool, but I have a lot of data and a lot of things that have connected with me that I'm still working on. So if you're plugged into yourself and you're connected to you, the plant medicine will continue to work. And it won't be obviously as strong as it was on one of your ceremony nights or one of the plant session nights, but it'll be profound nonetheless. You'll notice changes in your perception and how you interact with other people, your level of patience, how other people perceive you. I have a lot of guests say, how do I get my family to do this? How do I get my friends to do this? My coworkers. Just be an example. You don't have to pitch anything to them. If they ask questions, of course you can answer, but it's just your vibe. The way that you've shifted and changed is like the biggest sort of thing that's happened. My family, a lot of them have not done plant medicine, but they've seen in me a huge change in who I am as a person. I'm happier. I'm more grounded. I'm more connected to me, and they like that. So that's what communicates better to people, is like your vibe, right? So people want to come, we're all used to, in the West, we're used to a quick fix. Now, plant medicine is very fast and it does work quickly. But the integration component is sometimes it takes a little while, depending on your situation back at home. If I come from an abusive environment, if I come from a job that I hate, if I come from a relationship or family dynamic that's really chaotic, it's going to take me a little bit longer to kind of shift and adjust into like what I need to do to be successful there. But if I come from a healthy environment, a loving environment, a job that I do like, it's going to be quicker. So there's like this spectrum, right? We all go on this spectrum. We're all at different times, different places within this kind of zone. So give yourself some time to adjust to like what's happened for you. When you're completely plugged into yourself, you can heal your body. When you're completely plugged into yourself, you have clarity, you have awareness, you can make decisions, you can see what you need to do. Now, I've talked about this before, capitalism and Western culture and all kinds of different stuff, which I don't have a problem with, but what it's doing is it's telling you, you don't know what's best for you, you got to listen to us because we're going to sell you a product. And that's okay. Like, that's all right. Like, I'm not knocking it. That creates a certain economic structure that's good for some people and not so great for others. But, that's the system that the West is in. So, take it with a grain of salt. You don't need anybody on the outside to tell you what you need to do. Now, me being a rebel since I was born, pretty much, I didn't listen to anybody. And sometimes that was good, and sometimes it was not so good because I got into trouble. But I learned a lot, right? I learned a ton from making decisions that were not good. I learned from that. So for what we're trying to tell you guys here at Rythmia is that you have the answers. You know what you need. There isn't some sort of structure that's set up that knows all, that can tell you what you need to do. You know what's best for you. You know what's best for you. There's a lot of people in the world that want to critique the plant medicine process, and they want to analyze it because they don't believe that it's something that's viable for people. And that's okay. Like, that's their right, and I respect their right, and I like to debate those people, and I think everybody has a right to their own opinion, and I really like that people have different views on things, and I have my view, and my view, is just as valid as anybody else's, which is I believe that this plant medicine, the system we're running at Rythmia, is very helpful to people because I've seen it for about almost 4,500 people in the last 3.5 years. I've seen this. And connecting with yourself is always a good idea. And people that are on medication, that critique us, and they're on antidepressants, and they're on Valium, and they're on, all kinds of meds, and they have no clue about who they are as people, but then they critique us. I don't really care about what they have to say, really, because even though I respect everybody's opinion, they don't have the clarity within themselves to really make a good opinion about what we're doing. So it doesn't affect me, it doesn't affect us. So I just want to make really clear, our goal is to help you plug into yourself because we believe that you are the best person to determine what you need. And what I've worked with all these people in the past 25 years in my career, they always ask me, like, what should I do? What do I need to do? I said, I don't really know, but let's figure out what you need to do. And let's figure out what you want to do. And let's empower you as a person to make the decisions for yourself. That's the healthiest way, in my opinion. Because I don't know about you guys, you're probably watching this because you think like me, like you're probably rebels. And you're not going to really listen to many people what they tell you to do. Thank God. Good for you. You shouldn't, because they don't know what's best for you. Only you know what's best for you. And that's the best way to approach life. And, if we're confused at times and we're substance abusing at times, or if we're thinking dysfunctional stuff and we're not taking care of ourselves, then our own opinion is a little skewed. We got to learn. We got to get back on track. But I'm not going to look to the outside of who I am as a person for the answers. I'm just not going to do that. That's not who I am. I'm going to figure out what it is that I need for me, right? And when my soul is connected to my body, I'm plugged in emotionally to myself, I can grow and I can move forward in life in a way that's really productive and healthy for me. And I've seen this happen, right? I've seen this happen for myself, for my family, my friends, for a lot of people that have come through Rythmia. This is like a really good model. What happens in the West, right, in the U.S., I used to talk about that because that's where I grew up, right, in Los Angeles. People want to be numb. They don't really want to think about much. They want to avoid stuff. They don't want to really worry and think about all this stuff going on in the world. They just want to live their like little bubble world, right? And so, it's stressful to think about other things. But that creates a system that is dysfunctional, where it leads to addiction, it leads to dissociation, it leads to jobs that you don't really like, it leads to self-loathing, leads to poor relationships. So what we want to do is wake people up and realize who they really are as people. I believe everybody is powerful. I believe that everybody has the ability to connect to others. I believe that so many people, I believe everybody has this talent where they can sense the energy of other people. And what happens is, through all kinds of different brainwashing tactics and religious kind of oppression, and not all religions are oppressive, but a lot are, is that what happens is that gets dulled down and they become sort of robotic and they become sort of like slaves to a system that is not conducive to self-growth and behaviors that can realize all kinds of loving things that are helpful to the people that in their community and also to the world. So I've said this before, is that I can't feel what somebody else is feeling, which is called empathy. I can't have empathy for others if I don't know who I am as a person, if I'm not plugged into me. So in order for me to feel the sadness of someone, I need to know who I am as a person. And if I can feel who I am and I know myself and I'm connected and plugged in, then I can have empathy for other people. And that's how the world changes, is that we have empathy for others. I don't want to have a war with somebody. I don't want to, be discriminatory to somebody because I want to understand their perspective. And so that's how the world shifts, is that we have these micro interactions with people that are really positive, that we can sense what somebody else is going through, and we can have patience for them. A lot of people I worked with, my whole career was low income, underserved, until I went to Passages. Passages was the first place in Malibu, the rehab. It was like a high-end place. But before that, I was working in the county system. I was working for low income, underserved. I was working for all kinds of people that did not have resources to make themselves get better and thrive in the world. So what I learned working with those people is, they're very humble. They're very grateful for what they can get. And they're struggling. They're trying hard to succeed. And they're trying to thrive. And that energy was really intoxicating to me. I loved it. And I wanted to help the people and work with them and help support and provide empowerment for them so they can kind of like move forward in a way that was like, rewarding to themselves. I worked with high-end people. It's often difficult because they're already kind of like in this like entitlement vibe. It's just a different situation. But if you feel that you've been oppressed, downtrodden, abused, victimized, not been given a fair shake in the world, let's just step out of that for a minute. Okay, just step out of it. We can all complain about the way we were raised. We can all complain about the environment we were in. I wasn't raised in a really rough environment. I could blame that for the rest of my life. I think people would probably understand. But I decided not to because it wasn't serving me. It wasn't helping me be empowered. So we can all think about situations that have been difficult for us, whether it's jobs that we had that were super hardcore. Like I'm watching some of these guys right here on the chat, and I know a lot of these guys right here. And you know what? They've been through a lot in their careers. They've seen some horrible stuff. They have serious PTSD from what they went through in their jobs. I'm talking about international sort of stuff going on, the Middle East, in Africa, even obviously in the U.S. too, in Canada. I see you guys right there. You know who I'm talking about. Okay, so you guys have chosen to overcome that. You guys have chosen to like plug into yourselves. And you have so much experience, you have so much love for people, and you've seen a lot. You've seen a ton. You have trauma from what you've witnessed in your life. And I'm saying you guys are strong because you guys decided you want to take charge of your life. You want to get plugged into who you are as a person. And what really matters is this: friends, family, community. That's what matters. And community is a broad term. It can be my immediate community. It can be the world community. Okay, friends, family, community. That's what's up. So I see these guys. I'm watching. I'm looking at your names right here. Okay, I know who you guys are. You know I'm talking about you. Okay, you've been through a lot, and you are growing because you're plugged into yourself as a person. Your soul is united with you, and you're moving forward in a really healthy way. We all have struggles. We all go through it. There's struggles coming. Everybody that's plugged into themselves, there's still struggles coming. That's the beauty of life. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. Right, you guys, thanks for watching. Dr. Jeff, Pura Vida. Can't wait to meet you. If you're an alumni and I called you out over here on the chat, what's up, homie? Miss you guys. Talk to you soon. Pura Vida.